This is apparently the day of 49ers breaking news, as now we have another restructure. Yes, this is the second restructure on top of a massive deal that was signed by Trent Williams. Oh my goodness, there is so much going on today, but we got to bring it to you. So this is what's happening right now with Deebo Samuel. So the San Francisco 49ers were able to save a lot of money against the cap space by most likely taking the base salary of Deebo Samuel's current contract and converting it into a signing bonus. As a result of that, they have created 16.4 million in cap space. To try to catch you up to speed, we don't even really, or at least me specifically, I don't really know what the cap looks like after the Trent Williams deal. I'm assuming the 49ers created more cap space with that contract by able to, shift some numbers to the back, things of that nature. But heading before that contract, they had restructured Malik Collins and were currently sitting at an NFL best $50.5 million in available cap space, and they just cleared $16.4 million in cap. Now, the interesting thing about this is, what are the ramifications of this move? Does this create a dead cap hit that might be larger for next year? I think those are all questions that are valid to ask. I'm unfortunately not going to be your expert to tell you how that all works. I'm going to be right there asking those questions along with you. But what we do know is that the 49ers have a ton of cap space and just created a huge chunk more by this situation that's played out now with Deebo Samuel. So I'm sure we are going to get a really comprehensive cap update here pretty shortly, involving the Trent Williams deal, involving the Deebo Samuel restructure, obviously taking into account Brandon Ayuk's deal, and just getting a stronger picture at what the 49ers overall cap is. My assumption, again, I'm not a cap expert, but my assumption is they're probably creating this cap space to potentially roll it over to next year. So that's my current best, maybe educated. I don't even know if you could say slightly educated guess regarding of like what's actually going on. I'll never be the one to tell you that I'm a cap expert. I like the football on the field. I like breaking that down. That's where I feel like my strong suit is. But at least I can tell you right now what's going on, the questions that I kind of have, and how this impacts us into the future, what this means for Deebo Samuel beyond this year. I'm not really sure. I think not only Deebo Samuel and his team, but I am, and I think a lot of other people are interpreting this as almost a contract year for Deebo Samuel, because just like we saw with Christian McCaffrey, just like we saw with Trent Williams, and now we see with Deebo Samuel, Deebo doesn't have any guaranteed money beyond this season. So Deebo will be in a similar situation looking to recoup guaranteed money, and it'll be fascinating to see if he gets that from the San Francisco 49ers or if he gets that from somewhere else. So I think Deebo's treating this like a contract year. My perception of this season for Deebo is it's a contract year. And yes, he is under contract, but clearly the guaranteed money matters, as we've seen with multiple star 49ers players. And I mean, we've heard even Mike Silver throw out, like, could we see Deebo Samuel moved at the deadline? I wouldn't personally like that. I mean, I definitely understand the potential thought process of doing something like that. And I don't know if this restructure makes it easier to move off of Deebo's deal. I think that's something to kind of keep in mind as well. Like, does this make his contract more tradable? Um, with how this is played out, I'm not really sure. But I would say if it were up to me, even you'll still be able to get something for Debo most likely at the end of the year because he's under contract. So if that's the move and this is the last year of Deebo Samuel, I just don't feel like a restructure of Debo right now is necessarily the move that you want to make. I think you need Debo. I think you need Ayuk and Jennings and Cowing and hopefully get Pearsall back. Obviously, the injury to Pearsall, I think, also too kind of solidifies the fact that I think we need Deebo Samuel here. So I'm not eager to trade Debo. I definitely recognize the reality that things could be coming for Deebo Samuel in the future, meaning his future is a little bit up in the air just based on the 49ers paying Brandon Ayuk. Now we see them pay Trent Williams, pay Christian McCaffrey. So we have to see here. We have to see what is going to happen in the future regarding this whole situation. But nonetheless, this is clearly appears like it's going to help the San Francisco 49ers. Again, jeez, if we were sitting at 50.5, I mean, that means we're inching closer to 70 million in cap space. Obviously, we're around that range of 65 to 70. But that's a lot of cap space. What are you going to do with that, San Francisco 49ers? Are you going to roll it over to next year, use it to, you know, help construct the next roster? I was calling it roster 2.0 because I do feel like there will be changes. I think with Trent being paid, with Ayuk being paid, with Brock Purdy, who's going to be paid next year, I think there will be some pretty substantial changes. So I'm calling it roster 2.0 because I think it will be the most substantial that we've seen their roster kind of turn over since Kyle and John have been here. It's kind of the first time where the core group of guys that they have built this roster around are getting to that point in their career, whether it's keep them or let them go. So next year, I think is going to be another wild off season. It's going to be the off season of paying Brock Purdy. So that's going to be another wrinkle to the mix. But again, I don't think we look too far ahead. I think we focus on right now, and we focus on the simple fact that Deebo Samuel, the San Francisco 49ers, agreed to a restructuring that opened about 16 million in available cap space. What do you think this means? What is your read on this interpretation? What's your interpretation on this situation? And what do you think they did this? I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.